Your Kingdom Concierge. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you had an amazing Monday. It's been great for me. It's been a good day. It's been a beautiful day. And usually when I'm doing the ladies' room, I will work late, so I won't come in quite as early in the office. And so I had a chance to kind of get out and enjoy the sunshine today. And it's really just been superb. So I hope you enjoyed it too. I had a guest that come by my office I haven't seen in a couple of years, and she just surprised me today. And she said, Clarissa, it's just good to kind of slow down a little bit, look up in the air, count your blessings, smell the roses, all the things. And so I used to be one, I like to be moving, I like to be in a fast pace, just going. But she has reminded me to slow down, smell the roses, look around and see what's going on. Look up, see the sky, take your time and enjoy life. And so Miss Loretta came by today and just really poured into me. And so I want to share with you with what she shared with me. Enjoy your life. Enjoy every minute of your life. We have a tendency to want to wait until the battle is over and we want to shout then. No, shout now. This is the time to rejoice. If you're going through some turbulent times in your life, some trying times in your life, shout now. This is the time to rejoice. Rejoice now and see what God will do and manifest in your life. So happy Monday again, guys. Listen, I want to remind you, we're coming up to the time to vote. It's very important that we do that. Don't forget it. I hope that you are hosting your voters registration drives at your churches, at your organizations, wherever you can host one, host it. Get to these colleges, encourage them to vote. Not only should we have the registration drives, but we need to have summits and workshops to educate people on the purpose of voting and what this particular vote will do for our nation, what it will do for our state, and what it will do for our community. We need to be locked in, as my son can say. We got to be locked in and know that it is important to vote, and we need to make sure, don't forget it. I'm going to always talk about it. Be in the season of voting and encourage other people to do the very same thing. I want to give a big shout out to my guest on last week, Angie Brown. Angie Brown came in, guys, and she almost shut the place down. She has some beautiful lyrics. She's a poet. And she's also a spoken word artist, and she has various events and in Gadsden and the surrounding cities, and she is very talented. And if you missed the show on last week, she actually did a poem about me, and I was so excited. It was something that I didn't expect, and I was excited about it. It was a beautifully written poem, and it was so sweet. So guys, listen. Go out there and support Angie Brown from Gadsden, Alabama. She has an organization called In Celebration, and she's really a cool lady. If you missed the show, go back to the Ladies Room Talk Show on the Facebook page, hit like and follow that. Go back down to that live and check her out. Angie Brown. Go out there, hit like and follow. Now, tonight, we have a great guest that's going to be on the show here tonight. It's going to be a good show. We have another representation from Gadsden, Alabama, and we have Pastor Z in the building. Hello, Pastor. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing good. Real excited about having you on the show. We were talking in the green room before we came on, and I was talking about some mutual people that we both know. And talking about some of the things that you do. So I'm so honored to have you on the show. And I really want my listening audience to learn a little bit more about you. So could you share a little bit more about what you do, your background, and kind of give us a bio?
Well, I come from my parents were the late F.L. Huff. He pastored for years in Gadsden, Alabama. He served in the Air Force, and he also worked at the steel mill that was here in Gadsden, Alabama. My mother is Katie Huff, and I have 5 brothers. It was all boys. It was always known as the Huff Boys. Okay. And so wherever my daddy ran revival, preached, or wherever, he packed us up in that little car, and we was there. And so I worked at the steel mill. I went to college. I played basketball. I used to be on the radio. WMGJ is where I was inspired to be a disc jockey, and I was there on the radio with them, and I've been on there a couple of times. But mainly, I've been pastoring ever since I was 28 years old. I started preaching at 27, been pastoring ever since, and here I am.
Okay.
Just a little
You
bit of me of me. I done worked everywhere. I
Mhm.
worked at the steel plant. I worked at Max Packaging. I worked at Choice Fabricators. I worked at Buffalo Rock. I worked at as a correctional officer. That was part of being able to minister at Etowah County Detention Center. I was actually put in charge of the substance abuse program,
Okay.
and so I moved there, and now I'm working at the Anniston Armor Depot, and been there over 20 years.
Wow. So on top of all of that, you've managed to write some books. Is that correct?
Well, I wrote a book.
Okay. Okay. What's the name of that book?
That book is Suit Up, Volume One. Suit Up, Volume One. And the way that book came about, it really wasn't my intention to write a book. What happened is when my daddy passed away, um, I was in some pain. So um, when he passed away, it was hard for me to get back Bible, reading the Bible, and I was having a difficult time trying to bounce back.
Right.
So I was dealing with all these emotions. I'm trying, I got to be here and minister to the people that I'm pastoring, but at the same time, I'm hurting on the inside, and I'm trying to be strong for everyone else. And I'm not gonna break down in the ladies' room, but when I start talking about this, it kind of get to me. So I was having a difficult time. So I said, well, let me just start picking up a daily bread and start reading the daily bread. Well, when you read the daily bread, it's not a custom, or it's not written for our culture. And so, it wasn't working for me. So I said that while I'm trying to encourage myself, let me encourage my members. So what I started doing was a 1 minute morning message every morning, a 1 minute morning message every morning. And it's just to jumpstart my members' day. So what I would do, I would go to work. I get there about 5:30. We start at 6. I read a scripture, I break it down, and I have an illustration, and I give a thought for the day, and it would last for 1 minute. It would be a 1 minute morning message, and it would be a recording, and I would send it out to all of my members. And in doing so, I start posting it to Facebook, making videos of it. And so what I was do that from Monday through Fridays because I didn't want to, put too much on me where I couldn't keep it up. So Monday through Friday, I would do that and send it out. And what happened was, it came to my mind. I said, you know what? I've been doing this for so long. I'm gonna compile 100 of these 1 minute morning messages into a devotional.
Okay.
And so that is what actually the book is. It's a 100 devotionals that people can read to jumpstart their day, that make me feel better, and hopefully it'll make someone else feel better. So that's how that book was created. It's a story to everything we do. Everything we do, there's a backstory to it. It just didn't pop up. Something, there was a cause, and then there was an effect. So
Mhm.
that's how that book came about. And I dedicated it to my mom and dad, because if I never went through that trying time, I probably wouldn't even done that. But a lot of people's blessing. And I said volume one because I want to do multiple volumes, and I haven't done volume two yet, and that's probably been 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah. It'll probably happen, Pastor, the way volume one came about. It'll be something that that the Holy Spirit will nudge you at the right time. Because there's a time and a season for everything.
Right.
I lost my mom last year, and
Mm-hmm.
so now my mom and my dad are both gone. And so it's just, I understand that space that you're talking about. I
Yeah.
understand that, having to kind of step back a little bit. And, I wrote a book based on getting past that. And a lot of people don't know about it yet. I haven't even really pushed it out. It's for sale. It's on Amazon. It's all of that. And I
Mm-hmm.
have a campaign centered around it, but it's called Unshaken. And so,
Right.
even though you've experienced these things in your life, you still can't be shaken. And so for me, and it sounds like for you too, in order to get through last year, I did it for the people. I've been a minister since 27, 28 years of age is when I got my ministerial license. And I said, Lord, I said, if I need to get through this, not just for me, but I need to get through this for the people who are stuck, people who couldn't get over, people are still having issues getting over the loss of their parents. And it's been 10, 15 years from then. And
Yeah.
so what you were able to do and be able to have your devotionals and to be able to help people, it's more people out there that are stuck in the transition of healing than we probably even know. But to have Suit Up out there as a devotional to help people, I'm going to get it, because I'm still adjusting to the new normal life. And
Right.
so I remember when you were talking, I was thinking about A.G. Gaston, and A.G. Gaston said, find a need and fill it. And so you found a need, and it just happened to be your own personal need.
Right.
Out of your own personal need, you're able to help thousands of people be able to get over some form of grief. It may not be a loss of a parent. It may be a loss of a job, a marriage, a friendship, whatever. Whatever it is that you're challenged in, Suit Up can be that devotion that every single day for 100 days. I think you have 100 devotions.
100 devotionals, and they're
Yeah,
short
100 days.
devotionals, and it
Yeah.
was mainly for conveniency.
Mm,
People jump up, they don't have time. They at least can give God at least 1 minute of their time
right.
and be able to just read something and have that thought. I never had a books. I didn't have a book signing. I've given away more books than I've actually
Me too.
sold because it was just a blessing to me.
Yeah.
And and people say you ought to have a book signing, you ought to do this. I don't know about you, but this being my first time writing a book, I hooked up with Westbow Print. And
Okay.
Westbow Print, you really need to know what you're doing if you're going to get into writing books and getting people to publish your stuff,
Mhm.
because they'll pimp you. And believe me, I can't say I don't seen anything from the sales, because pretty much they got most of it on their end. Now it's available on every pretty much website, Amazon, um, Books a Million, wherever you buy books, you can put my name in, Z Andre Huff, Suit Up, and you'll see the book cover, and you can get it in the on Kindle. You can get it on hardback, and you can get it on softback. So, um, but I haven't. I guess the benefits that I've received from it was, one thing. I was able to present my mom with my first copy. I was able to do something I've never done before and make my mom proud, you
Mhm.
know, and give her a copy. And she was just so happy when I presented it to her. And I definitely wanted to do it because I didn't want anything to happen to her and she not be able to see it. So my children, that's my son there.
I
I have,
figured.
yeah, I have 5 children, wonderful, beautiful, amazing children. That is a blessing. They encourage it. That's my nephew there. So they're
Okay.
chiming in. Candy, which is J May B, that is my um, my friend, my girlfriend. So we're dating. But I have some people coming in, and I appreciate that.
Hey, fam, you guys coming in, please share this on your platform. Take this link and share it on your page so that we can get more people out to hear Pastor's interview today. And welcome to the Ladies Room Talk Show. Pastor, in sharing about, you mentioned something about you've given more books away than you've made.
Mm-hmm.
I've done the same thing. You just feel like, hey, you know what? You probably need this. Here you go. And you just kind of give them away. But I believe God will get the glory out of it. Um,
Yes.
you also, you're not only your author, but you also you have a talk show
Yes.
called Real Talk with Pastor T and no Pastor P and
Pastor Z and Bishop T.
Pat. I gotta get the
Yes.
letters
Yes.
right.
You get. Yeah. Yeah. Real talk with Pastor Z and Bishop T, and Bishop T is Bishop Tanya Latham. For those that may not know her, she's right here in Gaston, but she played for your wedding. She
Yes, she
went to
did.
school with Allison Sanders. Okay,
And me.
so I think they sung in the choir or something together. But
Allison didn't.
and they didn't.
Allison didn't sing in no choir now.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, Allison don't need to be in the choir. That's what you're saying.
But the acting and the drama, yes.
Yeah. but but yeah, she told me to make sure I asked you who played, and now that's Tamara. Tamara is also on Real Talk with us.
Okay.
She spills the tea.
Oh,
So
okay.
Tamara comes on as well, and she gives the tea on what's going on locally and those things that are going on actually nationally.
Okay.
And so Real Talk is a show that Bishop T and I created.
Mm-hmm.
We started out doing COVID doing Bible study together virtually.
Okay.
So, everybody was going online. Like I say, everything got a backstory. So
Right.
everybody was
Right.
going online, doing their Bible study, having their church. So Bishop T and I, with Tanya and I, was doing our Bible study together. And so I called her one day after we got off and I said, Tanya, I got an idea. I said, let's do a podcast named Real Talk with Pastor Z and Bishop T. She said, I said, now we're not going to do church stuff. We're not going to be doing religious stuff. We're going to be dealing with what's going on in our city, what's going on in our country. We're going to be dealing with real talk and real issues. She said, okay. So that's how that was birthed. And so and if you go back and look at the very first episode to the episodes we're doing now, we look 100% better. So we about mastered it a little bit. And so we add Tamara to come on with the tea because you got to know Tamara. If there's a question, she has the answer.
Oh my. Okay. So, Pastor, let's talk about this. First of all, I want some logistics. Okay. So, how can we find this show?
You can find this show. We come on Thursdays. Now we came on last Thursday because we had Miss Allison Sanders on promoting Dead Wrong, the stage play that is coming to Gaston on Sunday. We hadn't been on in a while. We was taking a break because Tanya at this point is she putting boots to the ground because she's campaigning to run for re-election. She's actually a city council member for District 1. She's running for re-election. So she's been real busy. But we come on Thursdays and we come on at 6:00. We don't have a time that we go off, but we come on Facebook Live. We on YouTube. We on Z Andre Huff page. We on Real Talk with Pastor Z and Bishop T Facebook page. We be live there. And we're on YouTube, and you can go to YouTube and find us at Real Talk with Pastor Z and Bishop T. And I ask that you would like and subscribe our channel. But we come on Thursdays, and we plan on coming on this Thursday to actually talk to Bishop T about her running for reelection and some things that she's looking forward to doing.
Okay, that sounds good. Now you said 6 o'clock on Thursday. Is that 6 a.m. or 6 p.m.?
6 p.m.
Okay. All right.
6 p.m.
All right. And you guys do have a Facebook page. Real
Yes.
Talk with Pastor
Pastor Z and Bishop T.
Bishop T. I have to say it slow. So it'll be correct coming from me. Okay, there's a little humor there. But yeah, so I get it right on that. So we definitely want to chime in on that. Hopefully I can get out there on Thursday and check you guys out. I'm certainly looking forward to that. And so now we've talked about the talk show, we've talked about the books, and you are also on the school board in Gadsden.
Yes, I've served 9 years on the school board here. I was appointed originally by Thomas Worthy, who's actually running for mayor now. And so I was appointed by Thomas Worthy. He was a city councilman at the time. At the time, the council people would appoint the school board member for the district. And so a lot of things transpired once, I got on the board, and they went to Montgomery, and they pretty much said that they want an elected school board. At the time, I think, it was majority. We was the majority. The black and brown was the majority. And so they wanted to have a elected school board. And so I ran for election. And so I ran unopposed. And then the next time I had opposition. And now this time I'm running unopposed again. So I'll be doing 4 more years on the school board.
Okay, congratulations. That is
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you.
I know in every district, in every city, there are some shortages as it relates to teachers being in the schools. Are you seeing any shortages in Gadsden?
The only way we see shortages is that they are going to other systems. And normally they go to other systems because we haven't, when a person is wanting a job with your system and someone else is saying, you come on now, instead of waiting on them to have their board meeting, and they get them first, a lot of times that's how we may miss out. But we have special call meetings to try to get the best of the best. Because we'll wait till the last minute, we'll miss out on some of the best. And so what we end up doing, in the month of June, month of July, we have extra meetings to try to get these people hired. I don't necessarily see shortages. What I do see is there's a lot of people that get their degree, but they have a difficult time getting certified. That certification is kind of hard, difficult. I wouldn't know. I never had to take it. But I do notice that a lot of times people, you have to put them on emergency certificates and try to get them certified, allow them to operate, and then hopefully it don't run out, that they're able to get their certification, or else they'll remain an aide. So you really need that. And during COVID, they was allowing teachers, they was kind of lenient towards instructors on their certifications during COVID time. But COVID is over. And so I can't say that I see a shortage. It's a lot of systems. It's a lot of jobs out there. And so I guess they're taking either the job that's more convenient for them, that's closest to them, maybe the job that probably pay them more, the most, or the job they can get the quickest because they want to work. And when you say, well, you're hired pending board approval. So that means we got to have a board meeting, and hopefully nothing comes up that the board would not approve you getting hired, that you would get hired. So if I'm already offered a job here and then Gaston City is saying pending board approval, and I don't know what I'm gonna get there. I might want to jump. Sometimes they jump on the first one that's offered. And so I've seen where we're actually offered the job to someone and they declined it because they took a job elsewhere.
Okay.
So, but we have a wonderful system. We actually have a B overall with our system. We have
Okay.
a couple of schools that have A's, and so like Ewell Brown and Donahue, I know both of those have A schools, and so we're excited about this new year. The children, I believe, will start back on Wednesday. I had an opportunity to spend time with superintendent. The mayor was there. Some of the board members was there with us at the Gaston City High School auditorium, where all the teachers of our system
Right.
comes together, and then we actually get an opportunity to see them one time before they all venture out to their different schools.
Mhm. It's good to know that when you have a school board who is locked in to the education, you're locked into the culture.
Right.
Just there in the schools, it makes a difference.
Right.
I'm on the school board for Banks Academy. And
Okay.
so we're very involved. Now we don't run the school day to day. We allow the gentleman that we put in place to do that. But we do like to we check in with the culture. We check in with our teachers. We check in with our students to make sure that number one, our kids are enjoying their learning experience, and to make sure that our teachers are getting the things that they need to be most successful. And it sounds like that's the same thing that you guys are doing in Gadsden.
Yes.
I
We
am.
have a very large school system.
Mm,
We have 8 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, and 1 high school.
mm,
And we
mm.
just purchased buses, brand new buses,
Okay.
all brand new buses. We just hired drivers um, for those buses. So all our buses have the cameras. All is for safety. All of our buses have heating and air, and so we're excited about rolling them out.
Oh,
We have
that's gonna be
plenty
a
of
good look out
drivers.
there. That's gonna
Yes,
be a good look.
yes,
Yes. Awesome.
yes,
Awesome. I looking at everything that you are doing. You are a man with many talents, and you have expertise in these areas. And one of the things I used to hear people say that you find one thing to master and you forget about the others. I've never
Mhm.
believed that. I believe that if God gives you a multiplicity of gifts, you need to use all of them and use them
Yes.
to His glory. And so, as we wrap up tonight, I'd like for you to speak to that person tonight, because I love for my guests to come in and give encouraging words to people. And so I kind of guide you on who to talk to. And so tonight, if you could share with that person that's sitting on all these gifts and they're trying to figure out, well, which one do I do, or do I do them all? What do I do with these gifts? If you, Pastor, could speak to that person to encourage them just to get up and do something. If you could speak to that person for me tonight, I'm going to let you have the full screen here for a second. And if you could briefly share and impart those words tonight.
Okay. Well, when I first started pastoring, first started preaching, I sung in the choir before I started preaching. When I started preaching, I never will forget a minister told me, now that you preaching, leave the singing to the choir. Now that you preaching, leave the singing to the choir. I always wonder, why would they tell me this? Because they knew who my father was. My father would always sing before he would preach. It would put him in position to preach. And what I've discovered, that a lot of people that want you to sit on your gifts, they are envy, or because they don't have the gift that God has given you. And I want to encourage anyone that has gifts and is concerned about what other people think. You got to move beyond what other people say, what other people think, and you got to encourage yourself, like David said. Encourage yourself. I have always been the underdog. I felt like the underdog. Um, my whole entire life, I had to build myself up. I had to encourage myself. You know, I had brothers that played basketball that was better than I. I stayed in the gym. I stayed on the court trying to measure up to what they was doing and was able to do. And so you got to motivate yourself. You got to find the areas in life that is the purpose that God has given you in your life. And once you discover what that purpose is, then you're going to have to walk in that purpose. And once you start walking in that purpose, doors will be open, and then there are going to be doors that's going to be closed. But you also understand it comes with the territory. So I just want to encourage anyone and everyone out there. You have a purpose. Find out what that purpose is and use that gift for the glory of God. Make sure God get the glory in whatever you do, and I promise you God will bless it.
Amen. Amen.
I hope
Amen.
I was able to help somebody.
Oh, I know you were. I know you were. We're all always hear good, testimonies about words that are shared here tonight. And that word it lands with so many people because people are in a stupor right now. They're letting a lot of things just kind of weigh them down and keep them from moving, and to do a lack of faith, lack of confidence, lack of a lot of things. And so your words tonight have really, I believe, have penetrated the hearts of people to invoke them to really get out and take one step. If they take one step, God's got them on the rest. Right. So I appreciate that, Pastor Z. Thank you so much for hanging out with us inside the Ladiez Room Talk Show here tonight. And guys, listen, if you're just joining in, please go back and check out our replay and share this post on your pages. Words we share here tonight that's really going to impact so many lives. And this has been a great show. And remember now, get out there every Thursday or every other Thursday at 6:00 p.m. With Real Talk with Pastor Z and Bishop T.
There you go. You got it. You mastered it.
All right, Pastor. Thank you so much again. And guys,
thank you for having me. I appreciate you so much. And I thank Miss Allison Sanders also for connecting us. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. I look forward to hearing more things from you, and maybe we can link up and get together with what you guys got going on in Gaston. So I'm looking forward to that.
All right. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us inside the Ladiez Room Talk Show. And remember, we're celebrating 10 years inside the Ladiez Room Talk Show. We should have some pretty interesting things that's going to pop off in September. That is our official month of starting 10 years ago. So we cannot be who we are. Thank you, Pastor. We cannot be who we are without your support. So look forward to some great things on next month. So thank you guys so much. Stay safe, stay the course, and we'll see you next Monday, 7:00 p.m. Good night.
Good night.
Step into the Ladiez Room with Clarissa.